Now, I get asked all the time, what's the craziest thing that ever happened in recruiting when you were in coaching? Or, give us some background or some insight into what really goes on. But the story I want to tell you guys, was told to me by a head coach that I worked for back when he was an assistant. And I'll tell the school, I'm not going to say the name, when he was at LSU. I think LSU and Texas A&M fans, this one may ring a bell. You may be able to figure out who did what. And he's actually still a head coach right now. And I'm not going to say his name or where, but he told me when he was assistant at LSU, and this is before cell phones were big, everybody kind of used a payphone, that he was recruiting this top flight running back, and it came down to LSU and Texas A&M, and the player committed to Texas A&M. The coach drove down there, went to his house, tried to talk him out of it, but the family and the player were like, listen, coach, we're going to Texas A&M. That's what we want to do, and that's final. So he leaves the house the last time when he was making his pitch, and he goes back to the hotel. He's getting ready to drive back to Baton Rouge, and he's packing up all his stuff, and then he gets this idea. And so before he leaves, he puts all his stuff in this car, right? Goes to a payphone by the hotel, calls the home phone of the family where the running back is, pretends to be a coach from Texas A&M, okay, from the school where the kid committed, pretends to be a coach on staff, and he tells the mother, I believe, that they're so sorry they miscounted their scholarships and they're going to have to rescind that player's scholarship offer because they're over the limit.
Stop it.
And the family was upset, and he apologized, and so then he hangs up the phone, gets in his car, and just drives back by the house where the player is and stops, and his family's out in the front porch. And he gets out of the car, and the parents come running up to him. They're like, Coach, oh my goodness, we're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. And he acts like he doesn't know what's going on, and they tell him what's going on. And he's like, well, I promise, at LSU, we know how valuable every scholarship is. And we keep our word. And they ended up signing them. I want to see in the chat, some old head knows who I'm talking about, knows the player. I'm not going to say the coach's name, right? But it was between LSU and Texas A&M, because most of the time people think recruiting stories is, it's just about this guy got paid, that guy got paid, and players got paid. But there was some tactics that went on, some tomfoolery.
That has to be illegal, right?
Yeah, it's illegal. But again, at what point
think you could get away with that today?
Do I think you get away with it? No, you got cell phone. I don't think you could get away with it today, but you could back then. Hey, everybody on YouTube, appreciate you guys stopping by. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. You know a friend, tell them to subscribe. It helps the show grow. Turn that notification bell on and like the video, because all that stuff somehow with science and math comes together to help everyone.